Miss Rupali Jain has done BE from Mumbai University, and she had worked as a manager in Supertech Instrumentation Services Private Limited for more than 14 years. Her area of specialization in Supertech was batch management system and integration of control system with ERP or MES in process industries, and has executed several automation projects in reputed industries such as Asian Paints, BASF, Fine Organics, and Reliance Communication. She had developed a batch engine, super batch, based on ISA S88 standard, which has been installed at more than 25 process plants. Now currently Ms. Rupali is an entrepreneur for Rubicon System, a growing automation enhancements enterprise with various wings including software development, home, industry, corporate automation solutions. The major areas focused are web-based applications, cellular interactive applications, cloud-based solutions, enterprise resource planning packages, robotics process automation, Internet of Things, audit regulations, standards system, RFID barcode system.
Moving on to our next session, our next speaker, Mr. Mandar Phadake. He will be taking the topic Securing the Internet of Things, IoT Cyber Security. Mr. Mandar Phadake is the CEO of Abhisam Software Private Limited. He is the director of Riskology Solutions Private Limited. He is a BE in Instrumentation from VESC IT, University of Bombay, and MBA from La Trobe University, Melbourne. He is also a TUV functional safety professional. He has more than 28 years of experience in various industries and companies in a variety of roles. He has worked in companies like Bayer and Lanxess in India and China in the past. He has worked in the areas of design, engineering, projects, operations and maintenance, plant decommissioning and dismantling, risk assessment, safety studies, safety certification, software development, product development, and general business development or management. His current interests include developing products and applications that can leverage the industrial Internet of Things, that is IIoT, development of software tools for carrying out SIL calculations, development of an online training portal for professionals, and securing industrial control systems against cyber attacks. He is a regular contributor to many technical journals and is a speaker at many seminars and conferences. In the past, he has worked in the development of standards for gas detectors. I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Mandar Phadake.
Some of the things I've got a little kind of distorted, but anyway, I'll explain to you in brief. I'm currently associated with 3 companies. Okay, I'm wearing 3 hats. Okay, one is Abhisam Software, that is a developer of e-learning courses. So we have e-learning programs that you can take online or you can download to your own computers. You learn the skill, you give an exam and you get qualified. The second company I'm associated with is Reconnecting. It is a Swiss company and I run the India operations. It is related to safety. The third one which I am associated with is IoT. So it is a startup under the Startup India initiative and we are developing certain products that will be used in the industrial Internet of Things. Okay. This is a new portal which we have started at prettygoodcourses.com. You can visit, you can access some free courses there. There are some other paid courses also. And those courses are interesting. They are not just video lectures, so no boring guy continuously talking. And then it's not like a classroom training. So you have animations, you have simulations, you have some exercises, you have some things to do to make it more interesting. And you can, of course, access not only from your PC or laptop, but also from your phone or mobile or tablet or whatever. Okay, so these are some of the courses. Somebody was talking about variable frequency drives, how it works and all. So that's one of the courses. We have courses on RFID. There is also a free course on basics of RFID. If you want to know, you can just go there and access that. We have on industrial cybersecurity, many other topics. We also have some workshops. So if you're interested in knowing more about industrial IoT, we conduct some regular workshops. We also have workshops on hazardous areas. And when you do our workshop, you get an electronic badge like this. So that means you can share it on LinkedIn or Facebook or anywhere. And somebody clicks on the badge, all your information comes up, So how you earned it, what exam did you pass. So it's not easily forged, because otherwise people these days, they simply print out, even currency notes. So that's not possible with this. So these are some of the batches that you get for different courses that you take. Under Rissnology, we have functional safety and SIL training, SIL certification of valves, actuators, HIP systems, OPS and all. I don't know how much you are aware of it. We have some tools for calculations of SIL, safety integrity level. And these are the other things. Now under IoT, we have a kind of first product, which we call it as a MIG box. So this is a kind of magic box, migration box, which can make your dumb machine smart. So basically it will collect your IO data from your machine, and then you can push it to any of the cloud of your choice. Okay. So you have several analog inputs, digital inputs. You simply connect them, and you can connect them securely. So you can use MQTT, you can use kind of handshaking, security keys, certificates, all kinds of security you can build in. You can also run some basic software in it. So actually you can also use it as a small controller, standalone controller. Okay. So there's no need for a PLC or something. And you can connect to any of the popular cloud services. So if you have an Amazon account or Azure account or IBM account, you can connect this device to any of these. You can even connect the same device to multiple clouds. That is also possible. You also have local storage of data. So it's not necessary that all your devices in the cloud. And then the question comes that what happens if the connection breaks? Then do I lose the data? No. A copy of the data is also stored on the local machine. Alternately, you can connect to your own private cloud. And you have secure communication. If you want any demos, I have not brought this box here, but it's available. Just request and we'll set up a demo for you. Okay, now since we are into security, I request that you don't record some of the slides because they're very sensitive. If you want, I can share with them privately. Now because cybersecurity is such a big subject, and we only have about, I think, 20-25 minutes to talk on it. What I'm going to give you is a very helicopter view of it in an helicopter. Any of you? But you can imagine, right? When you go in a helicopter, you can see a lot of things, but you cannot see anything in detail. You can only see the overall picture. So I try to give you an overall picture, okay? So this is our helicopter. There's no audio. Can you start the audio? Pink Panther and Inspector Clouseau. Okay. Which we'll talk about now is what do you mean by cybersecurity? Why is IoT cybersecurity different? Okay. How do you secure your critical infrastructure? What IoT cyber attacks have taken place in the recent past? Types of IoT cyber attacks. How you prevent and mitigate a cyber attack. Okay, now as I said, the cybersecurity scope is vast. So we'll not go into all these things, but you must be aware. If any of you are interested, there are a lot of career opportunities if you are a security specialist. So you have, for example, protecting the stock exchange system or the banking system like RTGS or Forex or GSTN, because now everything is online, right? Aadhaar. Then this is also cyber security. Somebody injects some fake WhatsApp messages, some rumors, and they can start a riot. Okay, so this is also an important aspect of security. It's not only about viruses and trojans and all. You have the protect integrity of government, military, police communications. You have to protect the integrity of air traffic navigation. Then personal device security is where you are directly affected. If there is a virus in your phone, then maybe some app you have downloaded and it simply sucks out all your data plans. Although now that is not a problem because data is much cheap, but this used to be a problem earlier. Then there is security of critical industrial systems, that is all your DCS PLC systems. Then you have security of IoT and IIoT systems, which I'll be talking in a moment. Now all of this together is called as cyber war. Okay, tomorrow's wars will not be only fought on the battlefield, not only on the border, okay? The enemies will try to attack you. And the sort of funny thing is, the more you are connected, the more vulnerable you are. If you are too much dependent on these systems, then you also have to protect them, because tomorrow none of them will work if somebody launches a dedicated cyber attack. So what are the goals? One is securing information from theft and misuse. Okay, this is very commonly understood by everybody. You don't want your bank account information to go out, or what is your bank balance, or what is your password by which I can transfer money from your account into mine, right? So that is securing information from theft and misuse. Now, second part under the IoT infrastructure space is that you have to guard it against cyber attacks. Third is preventing the use of IoT for being a tool of cyber attacks to cripple other systems. So if you think of it, your IoT maybe network is in place. It's not only the IoT network itself has to be protected, it also should not be hijacked to attack some other system, which we will see later how it is done. Okay, then you have to prevent your IoT from being used for their own use by cyber attackers. All of you have you must have known of Bitcoin, right? How many have Bitcoin miners at home? Nobody? Nobody wants to say? Okay. So, so this is, now Bitcoin's price has gone down. But what used to happen is these cyber attacks used to happen because they will capture your machine, and in the background an application will run which will mine bitcoins for the fellow who has attacked your machine. So he is using the energy of your machine to earn bitcoins for himself. And Bitcoin is just one cryptocurrency, there are many more. Okay, then the next point is how you discover and recover from the attack. Many times, you will be surprised to know, people are not aware that they are under attack, or they have been compromised, or their system is being stolen, or information is being stolen. By the time they discover it, it is too late. Okay? So one of the goals of a good cyber security strategy is to know at the point at which you are attacked. Now, that's not the case when you are physically defending a border. You can see some missile coming in. Okay? But these missiles you can't see coming in. It is already there, lodged inside your system. You should know that, okay, something has come in and now I have to recover from it. So discovery is also an important point, okay. And then once you discover, then how you recover. And then you should have best practices to have end-to-end security. Now, a lot of people talk of industrial security, but all of them focus on only the web part of it, okay. The sensor to the web is all unsecured communication. Modbus is unsecured, unauthenticated. All of the field buses are insecure. Okay, they are not encrypted communication. Now with IoT technology, you have the possibility of making it encrypted and making it more secure end to end. So this IoT security is distinct from IT or business system security because the priorities are different. Okay, if you go to any security course, Security 101, you will find they talk about three things: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, And the first part for business IT system is confidentiality. Your confidential information should not leak. Okay. Next is integrity. Third is availability. But for an industrial system or an IoT system, it's the other way around. Okay. First is your system must be available. It should not go down. If it goes down, your plant goes down or whatever. Your machine stops running. So you don't care too much about the confidentiality, but more about the availability. Some myths about IoT cyber security. So first myth is like consumer devices, what can go wrong? Why you should have security built in that, especially for things like IP cameras. Many of the cameras that you see on the road and in buildings and all, they all work on the internet protocol and they are all highly insecure. They are totally open. You can hijack them. You can even make your final year project to check how many of them you can hack. I'm serious, I'm not joking. Okay. If you talk to any cybersecurity specialist, he will tell you that the reason there is a problem is because there is IoT. That's not the real reason, but he will say that because there is IoT, that is why you have so many attacks. Because all these devices are easily captured. The third is, who will bother to attack my IoT network? Nobody knows that I exist, okay? That we call is security by obscurity. Nobody knows you, so he cannot harm you, which is also wrong. Or cybersecurity issues will not result in physical harm to anybody. In the past, there have been cases where, some things have happened, bad things, because of cyber attacks on connected systems. Last is, when you talk of cyber security, it is only firewall and antivirus. Bas, mere paas firewall hai, antivirus hai, I am safe. Then you are as safe as you feel like ostrich which buries his head in the sand. So everything is, because you cannot see anything, is safe. That's not the case. Okay. So these are all myths. So how did we land in this situation? Originally, the internet was to connect only university networks, okay? It was never meant to, it was never thought that some malicious users can, enter it. Then over the last 30 years, you have so many autonomous devices that can connect to the internet automatically, such as IP cameras or routers, with non-existent security in place. There is no security. There is a lack of a regulatory authority that mandates that suppose tomorrow the India Customs declares that all cameras which you import from China, they must be secure. They must be having, individual password, individual login. Then probably you have some control on the situation. Today, what is the password and admin for these cameras? Guess? Admin 1, 2, 3, 4. Or nothing. Enter, you are in. Okay. So customer ignorance and apathy, because they want to buy the cheapest model. And we all know that China makes the cheapest stuff. And cheapest means they're really crimping on the cost. So even entering trying to configure a software that will demand a password for you also costs money, right? For somebody even to enter the password. Or somebody to have a software which will demand the password. That also costs money. So why put it? Because the customer doesn't ask for it. So in order to reduce the cost, all these devices are totally open. Okay, there is no change in the design and architecture of the internet at a fundamental level. It doesn't demand that it should always be HTTPS. Okay, because there are so many, almost 80% of the websites that you see are all HTTP. They are not secure connections. Okay, now the next fun part is, now you have a search engine for devices which are connected to the internet. And the first one is known as Shodan. Shodan karo uska. Okay, so you go to shodan.io, you type in anything you want. If I just tried this 15 days back. You type in Rockwell, then you get to know all the Rockwell systems that are discoverable. Okay, PLCs, DCS, whatever. Now you can drill down the data. So I drilled down, so I can see where it is located. You can see on Google Maps, I can see where it is located. I also see, I am happy to know that port 80 is open. Okay, now I didn't do that because then that becomes a criminal intent. I can try to ping it on port 80. And who knows, maybe it is admin or admin 1, 2, 3. Then I can do some bad things on that plant located there. Okay? And is it just one search engine? There is another Chinese search engine. Okay, so there are so many threats out there. And there are a lot of vulnerabilities. So in the security language, a threat is a possibility to attack from agent, okay? And vulnerability is a hole in your defense. So threats take advantage of vulnerabilities. When a threat meets a vulnerability, then your system is compromised. So the easiest way to understand it is by a picture. Can you see it? You are sitting in a castle that has a hole and there is a cannon in front of it. If the cannonball goes, then you are toast. Right? And the fellow who's throwing the cannons, he has to be lucky only once and you have to be lucky all the time. So you are at a disadvantage. Right? So in the context of security, there is something known as an attack surface. Okay, so earlier days we had these castles. So castles had an attack surface. What is the attack surface here? You have walls, you have doors, and you have ramparts. These are the three things which the enemy can attack. Now, quick question. If the attack surface is small, then you are more secure. If the attack surface is large, you are more secure. Can anybody answer? Small is secure, right? So less places where it can be breached. Now, when we come to IoT, what is the attack surface? Everything. Right? So we have so many places where it can be breached. Something goes in somewhere, then it can rapidly spread, like a real biological virus. From point to point, node to node, it can jump. And then the kind of effects are exponential, because it will grow in geometric progression. Can IoT systems get attacked? Yes. They get attacked all the time. Okay, now we talk of smart parking. Now some hackers in the UK, they decided that they'll play around with the smart parking system. It's connected by IoT. Yeah? Basically you get a message on your car screen that, okay, which parking slot is available. So see what they have written there. Giving the parking lot number, he's abusing you. Okay, now that is only funny. That has not caused any harm to anybody. Okay. But there are others. There are botnets and all which capture cameras. And there are something like 1,000 models of security cameras which are easily hackable. 1,000 models. Huh? I'm not talking of numbers. I'm talking of models. The actual numbers are in the millions. So the main domestic IoT vulnerability I see it is the large amount of zero security domestic IoT devices. And currently there are 8 billion and they are growing exponentially. They can be hacked easily to spy on people. So there are some sites on the internet. If you have some voyeuristic tendencies, you can go and see. So you can see into people's homes, compounds, what they're doing. You know, some people have that attraction to see kya ho raha hai neighbor ke ghar mein. So you can go to there and see, because some guy has simply connected it directly to a web page, and you can monitor from the web page what is happening in the house. Okay, now what is more sad is you can even see some people have mounted it on baby rooms, you know, how the baby is walking and all. So that's really dangerous. Now the next more dangerous part is that it can be hacked not only to see, but you can use that camera to launch a bot attack, launch another attack using that camera's processing power and its IP address. Then botnets can be used to launch DDoS attacks. Okay, time is too short to explain, but it's called a distributed denial of service attack. Okay, and these DDoS attacks, okay, some website or some newspaper publishes something about you and you don't like it. So then you hire a DDoS guy to take down the website. Okay, that is what is happening. And currently there are no laws mandating that IoT devices have to be secure. So who attacks IoT systems and why? So there are certain bot herders, we call them. So basically their job is to catch hold of, you know, insecure devices so that you can make a kind of a network which you can control. And you not only control, you can then rent it out to other people. So suppose I want to launch a DDoS attack on some website, then I go to this underground market. These people have already captured, say, 10,000 cameras, and I can rent those cameras. Somebody is renting your camera out without your knowledge, okay, for launching an attack on a third system. Then, of course, I talked about Bitcoin currency, cryptocurrency miners. Then, of course, there are hackers and hacktivists. So there are some environmental people who are outraged that some project is going to happen which will damage the environment. So they may decide to launch an attack on that, whatever company is doing that. These things have happened in the past. So we call them hacktivists. They are hackers as well as activists. Then there are gamers. So they simply want a thrill of taking down some website or some web server. Then there are non-state actors. This is a euphemism for our friends across the border, whom all of us know. Then there are state actors. So actually, as far as our western border is concerned, both are the same. So this guy is very famous in the IoT world. Do you know who he is? Huh? Any guess? Yeah? He's a guy of Indian origin. And he is the author of the Mirai botnet, which around 2 years back, it brought down the entire internet on the east coast of the US, including Twitter and Reddit, and all those sites went down. Okay, and he was operating from his dorm room. He was a student at Rutgers University. His name is Paras Jha. And he and his friends, they were playing Minecraft. You know what is Minecraft? Good. So this guy was running a Minecraft server, okay? And there was another rival Minecraft server fellow whose server he wanted to take down so that people will subscribe to his service rather than the other guy's service. So he decided to form this botnet. And he was a final year student like you. I mean, right now he is sitting in jail, but but that is because the FBI luckily found out, because somebody kind of, informed them. They didn't find out through the normal forensic means and all. One of his partners ratted on him, that is why he was caught. Okay. So what it shows you, it doesn't require some big, you imagine that if you want to attack the IoT infrastructure, you will require millions of dollars of money. No. Some guy, unknown guy sitting in a hostel room, bored with life, he can also do that. That means you are more vulnerable. Okay, now I'll talk about IoT security standards. You can see that the side is blank. Why? Because there is no standard. Okay, there are security standards for some devices, there were servers, there for this, that, but there is no, you will be surprised to know, there is no single encompassing security standard for something like the IoT. So how you protect your IoT or IoT system? First of all, you have to be aware of what vulnerabilities exist. You can get trained in IoT cybersecurity, we can also help you. You don't allow your IoT or IoT system to be used as a botnet. Okay? You have to carry out a risk assessment to determine the likelihood of occurrence and consequences. You have to establish a management system which can detect breach and their effect. You have to audit the existing system that possibly your system has already been attacked, but you don't know about it. Okay? Somebody is already mining Bitcoin and becoming rich and you are still poor. Okay, specify and design systems that are hardened against known vulnerabilities. Don't copy paste old designs. Now, many times in the engineering consulting world, like when we were in college actually, the joke was that the drawing submission which we used to do was actually not done by any of us. It was the same as Mr. Visweswarya, and after that it was all GT. GT was before this Xerox, they call it the glass trace. Okay? So many times the engineering specifications are that. There is a specification, last project mein use kiya tha, chalo copy paste maro. And then you will get hit by such a security vulnerability, then you are in trouble. Okay, for cyber security, including emergency response measures, in case you are attacked, you should know what to do. Okay, just like you know, in case of emergency, there is a fire exit where your fire extinguisher is located. Similarly, you should know when you set up an IoT system, if that gets attacked, then what should be the next step? Okay, so if you are interested, you can take our e-learning course or you can take our services or you can implement using our IoT products. Any questions?